Welcome to the dark and mysterious world of Psykers in Warhammer 40k, as we venture into the realms of this playable class in Darktide. Today, we'll uncover the essence of Psykers, from their origins and fraught status within the Imperium, to their extraordinary powers. Whether you're new to the universe, or simply curious about its weird and wonderful aspects, we will explore the twisted destinies and incredible abilities of these beings. Let's get started. What exactly is a Psyker? In the vast universe of Warhammer 40k, a Psyker can be any individual or sometimes even an animal belonging to any species that possess psychic abilities. These powers come from their capability to channel the energies of the warp, thanks to a mutation that's surprisingly stable. It's a broad definition for sure, but in the universe, the potential for psychic powers can emerge in virtually any life form. Some argue that being a Psyker has a biological basis, as psychic abilities often manifest within physical traits, like the third eye seen on some psychic navigators. However, these traits aren't universal or necessary for all Psykers. Given the variability, the term Psyker alone can seem vague. To address this, the Warhammer 40k universe categorizes Psykers into specific types like astropaths, sanctioned Psykers, farseers, and others, each with distinct roles and abilities. Within the Imperium of Man, Psykers are among the most controversial and feared figures. Commonly despised and often referred to as witches, they face hostility for potential dangers and chaos their powers might unleash. The tension is vividly depicted in Darktide, where interactions between the Zealot class and Psykers during missions highlights the deep-seated mistrust and hatred. Despite their potential usefulness, the Zealots' unwavering fanaticism paints all Psykers as heretics, regardless of their intentions or actions. Why are Psykers so distrusted and feared by the Imperium of Man? It all comes down to the source of their powers, the warp. This extra-dimensional realm underpins four-dimensional real space and is where all psychic energy originates. Although this energy can be channeled for good, it's inherently volatile and prone to cause destruction. In practice, the potential for catastrophic outcome far outweighs the benefits, leading to the prevalent view of Psykers as dangerous and their powers as a curse rather than a blessing. Given their exposure to the warp, human Psykers with their less disciplined minds are particularly vulnerable to its dangers. They frequently face threats of insanity, corruption, and even possession by demonic entities lurking within the warp. This vulnerability explains why Psykers are so feared within the Imperium. A single rogue Psyker could potentially become possessed and unleash devastation, slaughtering innocents in a chaotic rampage fueled by the dark forces of the warp. Alright, let's set aside the overwhelming complexities of the warp for now. While there's much more to explore about how its limitless energy can be harnessed and how other species leverage this power for various purposes, our focus today shifts to Psykers within the Imperium. Let's have a look into what life is like for a Psyker caught in the grip of the Imperium's stringent control. Imagine waking up one day in the Imperium, suddenly realizing you have psychic powers. You haven't caused any disasters yet, and there's no demonic rampages in sight. Sounds exciting, right? Think again. In the Imperium, once your psychic abilities are detected, you're immediately taken into custody. You'll find yourself locked in a dark, isolated cell, barely seeing anyone, as you wait for a black ship to transport you. If you're lucky, that wait might be less than a decade, if they decide to come for you at all. Just a quick note about the black ships. These are the grim Imperial starships tasked with rounding up Psykers from across the galaxy and transporting them to Terra. And no, it's not a luxury cruise. Instead, you're confined again, this time with psychic dampeners to suppress your abilities. For those who are particularly troublesome, the Imperium doesn't hesitate to put you into an artificially induced coma to ensure compliance and control during the journey. Upon arrival on Terra, the cradle of humanity and the capital world of the Imperium of Man, the fate of Psykers can take a few paths. If you lack discipline, the consequences are dire. You're likely to be executed on the spot. For those with significant powers that remain uncontrollable, a grim fate awaits. You will be fed to the Golden Throne, your psychic essence used to sustain the Emperor's life. Your psychic energy would then fuel the Astronomicon, the vital telepathic beacon that guides the Imperium ships through the warp. Navigation through the warp is perilous, and without the Astronomican's beacon, ships would be lost to its madness, unable to find a safe path back to real space. For Psykers who demonstrate stability and control, transformation into an astropath is the next step. Astropaths serves as vital interstellar communicators, sending and receiving psychic messages across vast distances. The role takes a heavy toll, often leaving them physically frail and prematurely aged due to the immense strain on their bodies. Further along the path, if you are both exceptionally gifted and fortunate, you will be sanctioned as a Psyker, allowing you to join the Astra Militarum to support military operations on the battlefield. Eventually, this prestigious role could even lead to becoming an Inquisitor. You might think that passing all these rigorous tests and joining the ranks as a gifted Psyker would mean you've finally made it. Well, not yet. The journey and challenges for a sanctioned Psyker do not end there. As a sanctioned Psyker, the constant exposure to the raw power of the warp is likely to cause physical deformities and mutations over time. Moreover, to stabilize and fortify your mind against the chaotic energies, you must undergo a soul-binding ritual with the Emperor. Far from being a benign process, this ritual inflicts excruciating pain on the Psyker. However, it's a necessary ordeal to enhance your psychic abilities and protect you from being possessed by malevolent warp entities. So after enduring all that pain, humiliation and suffering, you finally made it as a properly trained Psyker. Let's explore how you can harness the warp to channel its raw energy. It's important to note that the longer you tap into the warp, the more unstable your psychic abilities become. The human mind isn't built for prolonged exposure to such intense energies, which means every use of your powers involves converting chaotic energy into useful forms. Unfortunately, this process also allows more of the warp's chaotic energy to seep into your body, posing serious risks. Effective training is crucial here. It teaches you to manage this chaos and prevent it from overwhelming you, because losing control could literally be explosive. What weapons or tools do Psykers use? The specific items vary widely, but what truly matters is the significance these items hold for Psykers. Along with their composition and form, certain materials and shapes are better suited for channeling or suppressing the warp's energies. For instance, specific runes, inscriptions and crafted forms can significantly enhance or inhibit the flow of psychic energy. Therefore, a Psyker might utilize a variety of objects, carefully prepared with runes, inscriptions or particular shapes, to focus and control the warp's power with precision. This meticulous preparation helps ensure that the warp's energy is harnessed as safely as possible. The complexities of mastering the warp are immense, often exceeding the capabilities of most human Psykers. But just how powerful can a Psyker become if they truly grasp the intricacies of the warp? The Imperium of Man categorizes Psyker abilities into several ranks based on their power levels. Starting from the lowest, Epsilon Psykers possess basic abilities like mind reading. Deltas can manipulate elemental forces like conjuring fire or detecting subtle threats such as poison. Gamma Psykers, who must control their powers precisely to prevent disasters, are assigned specific roles and are highly dangerous if untrained. Beta Psykers represents the pinnacle of human psychic potential without succumbing to madness, capable of overwhelming feats but exceedingly rare due to the mental instability that often accompanies such power. At the top are the Alpha and Alpha Plus levels, where Psykers wields enough power to, for instance, dismantle a battle titan with their mind. These levels are so potent that they risk total physical and mental corruption. Notably, the Emperor himself transcends these categories, embodying a level of power beyond any conventional ranking. Despite the raw potential, the key to a Psyker's effectiveness is training. A well-trained Gamma or Delta can easily outmatch a higher-ranked but poorly trained rogue Psyker. Psykers wields immense potential, capable of being incredibly powerful allies or formidable enemies, which is why they are often loathed, hated and feared throughout the Imperium. Much more could be discussed about Psykers, the warp and the dual nature of these energies, capable of both salvation and destruction. The balance they maintain between these extremes is a testament to their complex role in the universe. What are your thoughts on Psykers? Are you a fan of playing as a Psyker in Darktide? Share your experiences and tell me how many times you've managed to blow yourself up while playing. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out my other Darktide lore videos. Until next time.